Hey, Sonny here. Today I want to show you how to play the Beast from the East version, Alone Again. The intro, um, one reason why I'm bringing this up to play this, because I just did the lesson on Metal Church, Watch the Children Pray. And the intro to that is almost similar to Alone Again. They use the same voicing and chords. So before we start, let's kind of go through the two chords that we mainly focus on. The first one is the E minor added ninth. That's basically a second fret of A string and fourth fret of D string, and everything else is open string. Strum it from the top to the bottom. Now the reason why this is E minor added ninth, because if you take the E minor chord, which is the second fret of A and D, and you add a pinky, you remove your middle finger, add a pinky on your fourth fret on the D string. That's the F sharp note on the D, on the D fourth. F sharp is the second fret in the E minor scale, so that's the ninth, also the ninth note. Because we say 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, the eighth note is also the root note, which is the D note. I'm sorry, the E note. So naturally, the ninth note is also the second note because it repeats itself again. So the ninth note is essentially the second note in the scale. In this case, it's F sharp of the E, and that's the same when the intro started. That hits that note as well. And the second chord we have is a E. It's still an E, but you added 5. Okay, so basically you just did what we just did, and lift up index finger, put your middle finger on the third fret on the A string, and strum everything together. Now on the third fret right here, before that, the second fret of A is the perfect fifth of E chord. So if we don't use that, we raise it up, half step up to third fret. That's the augmented fifth. So that's an augmented fifth. So this is E augmented fifth scale now, with added ninth. Okay, and there's one little chord also in addition to that is the a D added fourth. So you got the D note on the fifth fret on the A, fourth fret on the D, which is the major third of D, and an open G string. The open G string is the fourth note of D. So that's why it's called D added fourth. Because you're playing the third, major third, and the fourth together. Okay. So let's talk about this. The intro. Here's the first measure. Okay. The first measure is use the same, the E minor and ninth chord I show you, but the pattern is open E string, A2, D4, back to A2, open G, D4, A2, D4. You repeat that again, so you do that twice. Now, if you have trouble playing this part, you can use your left or right hand. You can anchor it. You can put your finger on the body of this guitar to give you a little anchor. Or sometimes what I do is I just kind of touch the neck pickup with my ring finger. Kind of anchor your hand a little bit. That way you can play that cleanly. Alright, so the first measure. Alright, the second measure, same pattern, but we're playing the E minor augmented fifth and added ninth I was telling you about. So that's basically A3, and D4. Same pattern I show you, just the only one note changes, which is the A. Instead of playing A2, you play an A3. So far with this, measure 1 and measure 2. Lift it up. Play A3 instead. Now, measure 3 is exactly the same as measure 1, no change. Measure 4 is almost exactly the same as measure 2, but it's slightly different at the end. So what I'm doing is I play the open E string, A3, D4, A3, D4 again, and again A3, D4, A3, slide up to 5th fret, and then 4th fret on the D, open G. So that's the 4th measure goes like this. One more time, slowly. Okay, the 5th measure is when it starts, the singing start Take My Heart and Leave. It's exactly the same as measure 1. No change. Measure 6 is the same as measure 2. No change. Okay, measure 7 is exactly the same as measure 1. No change. Measure 8 is like measure 2 with slightly different. It goes like this. Okay, so the measure 8 goes like this. Open E, A3, D4, A3, open G, D4, A3, D4, and slide to 5th fret, from 3rd to 5th fret, and then D4, A5, open G. Slowly on the measure 8. Okay, now measure 9 and 10 is exactly just the same as measure 1 and 2. Measure 11 and 12 is at the end of the intro right here. 11 is exactly the same measure 1, no change. Measure 12 is the very last measure. It's a little slightly different. It goes like this. There's a little extra chord at the end. So how it goes is open E, A3, D4, A3, open G, D4, A3, D4, slide up from 3 to 5th fret on the A string, D4, open G, D4. Now you gotta move down, you play a C major 3rd chord. C major. So basically it's A3, D2, and open G. So the last measure slowly goes like this. Okay, so the main riff goes like this. The bits from the East version is slightly different than the studio version. On the studio version, it goes like this. is slightly different, and the Beast from the East version goes like this. Okay, let me show you the Beast from the East version. And basically, once you learn that, there's some extra notes he adds here and there, but basically it's the same thing, plays over and over with some slight variation, but the main notes don't change. So open E, and then open E, B, and G string, and 4th fret on the D. Let it all rain out, and then you play the bass note, single note on the A string, open A, 2nd fret and 3rd fret on the A. And then you play open E string, B1, and open G. And now quickly you play the D chord, open D string, 2nd fret of G, and 3rd fret on the B string. And then next part, open E, G3, B3, open D string, and then play the 4th fret on the D, slide up to 5th fret, slide back down to 4th fret, and then you start over. Slow down. So that's the intro to Alone Again.